Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to Toonkind 12 FPS. This is Marsh-Mellowing Out, and I just realized I cannot pronounce that. This is MalaSorte, someone who is going for the record of complaining about her accents in every single 12 FPS. Hello,
I'm
hello,
gonna
hello.
bonk you every time you do. Also,
And
it's
I'm,
just like me to
I,
choose a
and,
title for you that's difficult to say. I'm sorry.
come on, I didn't do it that bad. I'm just making too much fun of myself. But I just wanna say, I have a confession to make at the start of this FPS. I have kidnapped you for to do this.
Um,
What, whatever it happens, it's my fault, and I am not sorry. You will never catch me.
I mean, you assume that you kidnapped me and not that I let you kidnap me, so I could kidnap you back.
I
It's a
held your
reverse
hand.
kidnapping.
I held your hand and I started yelling, "I'm kidnapping you! I'm kidnapping you!" Anyways,
This is a kidnapping. This is a kidnapping. But who's kidnapping who? Anyway, yes. Hello, I'm Dew. I'm gonna be sort of face partner for today. Very impromptu FPS. We decided. We literally just said a couple of sentences in a chat, and we were like, "Yes, we're doing this. We're doing this now." So we're doing this.
trigger. Yeah, just probably there is already a trigger warning, but in case there will be a little bit of drinking maybe here,
Yes.
and we are not expecting angst, but
You know what we're
I said,
like.
uh, listen, I said all softs, but you never know with these things because you aim for fluffy stuff, and suddenly there is thorns under it. But
Suddenly you step on a bear trap,
uh,
and you're like, "Well, okay then."
it's a bear trap with a Hello Kitty sticker. It's
That
also
sounds like
pink.
something Olvino has.
Okay, okay, I'm adding that.
Yes. Do.
Anyways, um, let's set the setting. I am certainly not Matt Mercer, but I raise a glass to the guy. I will have to. Um, so, you tell me,
Uh,
blast from the past.
uh-huh.
What was Lao doing today at this hour?
Stay at this hour, man. Well, I guess
My
Lao.
question, my question, better phrase would be, what business would have brought Lao to the farm?
Um, well, probably along the same lines he usually comes down. He is probably coming down with a sample of the compost that he usually gets from Carmina, and is just gonna tell her how well that helped with his plants to grow. And is
Oh my
gonna
god, he's been nice. No.
look. He's not gonna be like nice about it. He's gonna be factual about it. He's gonna say, look, this is what made it grow. Uh, this is perhaps some alterations you could make to make it even more effective. Um, and he's probably just gonna like putter about and mooch for a bit. Um, because he's brought Soul with him as he usually does. To just have a roam about because Soul needs to get out of the city a little bit more, and Carmina has a convenient farm for Soul to just have a romp about. So use the space while it's there. Um, yeah, Soul's basically out to pasture with the bugs, and Lao is at the farm, probably just talking about soil and the kind of plants he's grown with this particular soil or this particular
So,
compost.
so you are telling me he came here to stir some shit?
uh...
You love me.
Reluctantly, but yes. Reluctantly, but yes. He's basically come to tell you that your shit is the shit. That's
Aye.
some good shit you
I
got
see.
there, Carmina. That's some good shit.
Carmina is taking all of these not like objective observations, but like, kid, this is some compliments. about her compost. And at some point, I will say, Lao, you don't know how this has happened, but you have been once again roped. And Carmilla was just insistent. Listen, you need to see this. You need to see this. I think you're gonna enjoy it. You know, it's nature, it's plants. I cannot show this to anybody. Who else is gonna enjoy this for the and you suddenly find yourself in the middle of the forest. And hey, it's kind of peculiar, right? Is what Carmilla wanted to show you is like she's losing her mind because she has managed, well, not herself, but it turns that a native species of moss from this side of the of the forest has started to grow again, and Carmina was giving it for practically lost already. And it seems it's growing well, it's growing healthy, it's because it's coming back to what she will consider normal on that area. It's a very, 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 very soft moss
Mm.
that sitting on it just so soft and fluffy, and it's almost like a bed. You feel refreshed after sitting on it, or lying, or taking a nap.
Huh. Okay.
But part of it is that at this point in time is not precisely wise to have a nap in the middle because it's winter-ish and soon it starts raining and what is a little bit of water becomes a few buckets and a few buckets becomes like pouring rain and then suddenly from the skies, I don't know which god you have angered now, but from the skies a single a small piece of hail hits you right between the eyes. Doesn't hurt, it's startling, doesn't hurt. Uh, I think, do you want to roll dexterity to try to avoid after the one?
I mean, as soon as the hail hits, I just want to do a few things first. Firstly, I need to roll hammer space twice. Okay. So basically, Lao's gonna take out two little vials, and then he's gonna scoop up some of the moss, pop it in the one vial, and just like screw the bottle cap, not bottle cap, but the cork cap back in. And then he's gonna take a sample of the moss, and he's gonna focus on putting that back in the vial as well, and just
Carmilla,
making sure that fits on. Um, And I'm gonna say the reason he didn't notice like the rain or the hail was because he was focused so heavily on taking the samples, and he just kind of looks up and he gets bonked. And you, I mean, you're probably familiar enough with Lao in his other language by now. You know Dwarvish, don't you? Or at least I believe you knew Dwarvish.
uh, I would say, for the sake of the background, Carmilla can definitely realize when something is a swear.
Yes. Yeah, you've heard him swear before at least, and he just lets out a just a guttural swear in Dwarvish. You are very certain that's a swear. And you wanted me to roll a dex save or a dex check.
Yes, I'm gonna say that in really Tourney's fashion, it stays hailing just right where they are.
Cool, it's a 6.
Yeah, you have enough hail in your pockets to to make a mojito right now.
Well, thing is, because this is set a little while ago, he doesn't have his sari yet. He is still just blanket lap. Um, so let me
So
just.
basically, you have basically an shaved ice cream without the sauce on your blanket.
Oh, wonderful.
Uh, Carmina is gonna Yeah, she does. She does even worse than Lao. I will say that she was still laying in the moss, looks at you, starts opening her not mouth to make laugh at you, like, oh my god, do you put it on vials? Just shove it in your hammer space. And where Carmilla was once, now there is just a pile of ice and a chicken leg sticking out.
Wonderful. Let me see. Because Lao's just gonna Lao's just gonna look at that and he's just gonna sigh. And let me see. Um, oh jeez. I'm just trying to check to see what he do here because there are a few things he might be able to do. Um, okay, I can't use that. Man, Lao, where are your good spells, mate? Where are your good spells? I know you have this. Weapon, suggestion, rolling bond, mist pocket, early truth. Okay, you know what? He's just gonna sigh and he's gonna snap his fingers and he's gonna cast Unseen Servant and he's just gonna gesture towards Carmina and say, "Do me a favor and just pull her along, would you?" And he's gonna turn around and make his way back back to the farmsteads. So now you've got some invisible thing just slowly dragging you through the mud, the moss trailing behind you, in the ice block, um, as you just get pulled along. I'm gonna roll survival to see how long it takes for him to find his way back. Let's have a look. And I am gonna use his new stats because I deleted his old sheet because I'm dumb. That's a 16. It's a decent enough job. What was that D2 for?
Ian. Yeah, your survival lets you realize as you start walking that you're going in the right direction, but it's not the right direction. So you take another path.
Okay.
And yeah, effectively, like you are on the right path, dragging Carmina.
Okay, cool. He's just gonna make his way there. He's gonna keep walking. Gonna keep rolling.
Hail gets worse. Hail gets worse, and Carmina is kind of like pulling down, like, what? She's kind of like, are you pulling from her leg?
You're pulling her leg, yeah.
And she's kind of like, she's kind of like trying to get up, but she can't because she only has one leg free. Like,
Wait, so is her head
Don't help
free and
me!
it's just her body frozen?
Oh, right, she's frozen.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. It's like, is her whole body frozen or is it just like her leg and her head free?
No, definitely with the one, she's totally frozen.
Okay, cool. Um, so
The weather becomes worse and worse as you approach the house. You can
gosh.
see the broken gate, but it's close. But it's just unblurry.
Okay. Well, he's gonna hurriedly make his way over. I'm gonna roll on athletics to see how well he makes it through this, which is, oh, beautiful. 7. Struggles. The rain and the sleet and the hail have gotten quite heavy, and it's creating mud on the floor, which is making it incredibly difficult for him to traverse through. He calls back to his unseen servant. Just gonna call back. Don't let her go. Come on, just we've got to get back to the farmstead, and then we can put the fire on, and she'll frost there, or I can maybe cast a spell, and hopefully that'll get rid of it. And he's just slowly trying to get through, and I feel like he gets stuck in a pothole or like a mud ditch. One of his wheels gets stuck in a ditch, and he's just like, oh, for fuck's sake, and he just tries to yank himself out. And then when that doesn't
He's
work, he turns around to his unseen servant and just says, me out of this very quickly and then pick her up and we'll keep going. And I'm just going to roll a straight strength here. That's for the unseen servant. So what happens is the unseen servant tries to come over and lift Lao out of the little ditch. Instead of lifting him up, he does lift him up briefly, and then the other wheel sinks down, and now Lao is stuck in 2 ruts in the floor. And he just looks down. And then he looks back, tilts his head back, just tilts his head back and looks up at the rain and the hail that's falling over him. At this point, he's just done. He does not care if he's getting wet, and he's already soaked. Carmina is a literal ice block. He's just like, right, okay. Take her inside. I will follow you after. And the unseen servant is gonna grab Carmina by the leg again and drag her. And this means I have to do this. Cool. Sorry, if you ever want to say anything, Sorte, please feel free to interrupt.
I always want to say things. For example, I want to say this morning I saw a dog. I wanted to pet the dog, but it was very scared. Sorry. You meant about the game.
Yeah.
Yes. Listen, Carmilla is definitely not able to talk, but even in this frozen state, I would say she managed to give you kind of a glare.
I just imagine the eyes are locked in a glare as she walks by. Please, can we imagine that all of her is literally an ice block, except for her licorice stick, which is still sticking out, and puffs of smoke have been falling out as she's been pulled along.
She's definitely still smoking. You cannot stop her.
Beautiful. Fantastic.
Gosh. Now, let's use a tiny break. Kids, don't smoke. In fact, don't even vape. Don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give you any reason. Just don't. I will go to your house and I will slap that smoke off your hand.
Don't threaten the listeners, Sorte. Don't.
Oh.
Don't, Sorte.
Okay.
Don't threaten the listeners.
Okay, then it's a good thing they cannot see me. Anyways.
Anyway, I'm gonna roll another thing because Al has gotten a walking stick out of his hammer space. He reaches underneath his brown and red and slightly green blanket, rummages, pulls out a walking stick, and I'm gonna have to make a dex save with disadvantage because it's fucking raining. Gosh.
And he's pecking
well,
windy.
That's a nat 1 already.
Oh boy!
Actually, that was supposed to be with a -1, so that's a 0. Gets up and he falls on his face immediately. He's just laying in the dirt, face down, and he's just sit there for a good 2 minutes, just silently waiting before he tries to get up again.
This is absolutely miserable. The weather is miserable. You are not sure the most was worth it.
Gosh, he just sighs, slowly puts the stick, his walking stick upright, his cane, pulls himself up as well as he can. That was a 10, by the way. I keep forgetting to add the minus. So he struggles. He does eventually get up, and he just puts one hand on his face and just wipes it down, and then flings the dirt off of his hand. And then he's gonna do a really stupid thing, and he's gonna turn around and he's gonna try and push his chair along with him to the house. This is 6. He can't push the chair. It's stuck. He tries.
It's loud. You can get it later. Just leave the fucking chair.
You know what? He does actually just go, you know what? Fuck this. The chair can stand at the outside. If I have to, I'll just drain it of water later. I've got that spell. It's fine. And he's just gonna make his way. For the sake of time, I'm just gonna say he makes his way into the farmhouse because it's been 20 minutes, man. It's 20 minutes and it's just been them flailing in the mud.
Oh my god, it has been 20 minutes of them flailing in the mud. Amazing.
Pretty much! Yes, okay, we're in the house now. The unseen servant is also in the house. Carmina is by,
Roll me a perception.
Cool. perception mod now? Ah, that's your that's your perception mod. So 6 again.
Actually, fuck that. Which is how much is your passive perception?
That's a good question. 14.
Yeah, with a thing, you will realize the door is open. You didn't leave it like that.
That's true. However, he did ask his unseen servant to pull Carmina in there as an ice block. So
True. Then it's not weird.
yeah, he's not gonna think anything of it. He's just gonna slowly make his way over. Because he's with his cane, he's only got a 10-foot walking speed per round. He has to take his. As annoying as it is, he's already soaked. He can't get any wetter than he is. He's got to keep one hand just around the blanket because now it's getting heavier and it's starting to get very sodden. And he's just slowly making his way over,
Downtown,
making
walking
his
not
way
really fast.
downtown, not walking faster. He's gonna fall on his face in the mud again. Um, but yes, he does eventually make his way into the house. And the minute he gets into the house, he casts Destroy Water on himself. Um, he's going to do that on himself so that now the blanket he's holding is basically dry, and so is he. And he just, oh, fucking finally, I can actually get rid of this. And right, let's see where Carmina's been put. And I'm going to say, for the sake of sensibility, Carmina has probably been left by the fireplace, by the big hearth. Would the hearth be on still? Like, would it be lit, or would I need to light that?
The fire is always lit.
Okay.
In fact, roll me history.
Ooh, fun. 22.
You suddenly realize you don't remember a single time this fire has not been lit. No matter the temperature of the house, it has never felt too much.
Okay. Sorry, give me a second. My dog is making very
There
high-pitched
is
whining noises.
there is also like it seems that one of the stray dogs from that what maybe one of the neighbors dogs, poor thing, has probably find itself in the middle of the storm and has taken residency on Carmina's kitchen.
Oh, there's a dog tucked underneath the table with a coward tail. Oh no, Sorte, don't add that in. Oh, that's so sad. But also,
The the
Lao
do-
doesn't
the
care.
dog the,
Lao
the,
just
the,
doesn't.
do- the dog is hiding from Hammer, who is kind of like
Menacing it.
circling it
Hummer
because
being.
this is this is their house. Who are you, a strange alive pet?
Excuse me, this is my house. Why the hell are you in it? No dogs are allowed in this place unless I say so. Hummer
The
being an
dog
absolute menace to this poor
the
dog.
dog does the dog doesn't understand why there is a
Dog doesn't
bird
speak
cat.
ghost.
It's a ghost, it's a bird, and it's a cat. The dog is confused. It's not gonna get out of the table.
Nope, it's just under there now. Um,
I will say Carmiña has been put right in front of the fire, and as Lao enters and looks for her, there is it's astonishingly how fast the ice melts, and there is a clatter of teeth and a string of curses in something that Lao has learned is the way Carmilla speaks Druidic. It goes something like this. Me cago, Dios, me cago en los muertos, la puta que... Ah, da, 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 da. Ai, mal rayo, quanto tempo este que temos hoxe.
okay.
Ah, caralho, caralho, Cora.
Lao's just gonna roll his eyes at her druidic mutterings, and he's just going to. If you just sit there for a second, I'm just going to. And then he's gonna. Click, damn you! Nan, it's not clicking. Are you gonna click? The
I
recording's not
can
picking
hear a
up.
click.
I am trying to click.
I hear a click. There is a click. I hear a click.
Okay, the recording's not picking it up, but I have clicked multiple times.
Click, click, click.
Cloud's gonna click, and as he does, he is again going to cast Destroy Water. Yeah, so it says destroy water in a container, but fuck that, it's an FPS. You're dry now, Carmina, but you are still quite cold. Um, so Lao just kind of gestures towards the fire and says, just stay there for a second, I'll get something to warm you up. And he's gonna go and make tea.
Eu non credo que te faga moito xesto, fágame moito, axúdame moito isto. Calquera que este escoitando isto sexa de Galicia, na miña defensa, só non falo co meu pai, que a miña familia xa non o fala. Ai, que mal están os tempos. Ai, 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 ai.
I was just gonna be absent-mindedly nodding along to this, listing from the kitchen as he makes tea. I'm not gonna roll for him to make tea.
No,
Can
no, que te digo que fai moito frío, que isto non se vai ben, oh. E logo, claro, eu estou aquí falándolle os deste país como se me entenderan D&D, onde os teus druidas falan galego.
see, I feel like you're breaking the fourth wall. Unfortunately, I do not speak Galician, so I don't fucking know. Anyone that speaks Galician that understands what Sorte is saying, if you could translate that and then ping me, I would greatly appreciate it. But until then, I guess I'm just gonna have to stare at you in suspiciously. Yeah.
I will say what happens is Carmenia might be hallucinating a little bit. She's a little bit delirious from the cold.
Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't find anything. Okay. So Lao kind of thinks for a second, and then he's like, I think this might call for an Irish tea. And well, no, he doesn't say Irish. He's like, wait, no, what's an Irish? No, not an Irish tea. I don't know what an Irish tea is. Peruvian special. That's it. He's gonna make a Peruvian special. He's like, he just stops and pauses, and he's like, I don't know what an Irish is. I don't think it's an Irish. No, it's not Irish. It's Peruvian. What even is the word Irish anyway? And he just mutters around the kitchen. He rolled investigation to see if he can look through the cupboards to find any alcohol, but I presume he kind of looks over his shoulder at the way Carmina is chattering next to the fire, and he sighs again and he gestures and says to the unseen servant, "Throw a few logs into the fire, please. Just get that thing up. We need to make sure that she gets a little warmer." And Carmina, you can feel something move away from you. And logs start drifting off from where they're stacked and being stacked in the fireplace very neatly, slowly getting that temperature up. And Lao is going to roll another hammer space. Cool. He's going to reach underneath his blanket and with a pull something out and just two glugs of something in their tea. Give it a quick little stir with a spoon, and carry these mugs over. Well, he's gonna put one on his lap and then he's gonna hold the other one. He's gonna carefully move himself over towards Carmina, and he's gonna hold out one of the mugs and say, "Drink this, it'll help warm you up a little bit."
You realize Carmenia is getting a little bit better as he reaches for the tea, drinks, and she says, peck.
Now just yes, that is certainly a word for it. Oh wait, hang on. I just realised he can't wheel himself over. He's using his cane. So he hands you a mug, and then he says, "Let me just mine." And he walks. You hear him like stutter step, stutter step, stutter step his way back, over to the kitchen, grab himself his tea, and then very slowly walk back over to you. And I'm gonna roll this.
May I roll a perception?
Yes, you can, or an insight, whichever you'd like. They'll both get you something, but they'll get you different things.
I think against my instinct, I'm gonna go with perception.
Okay.
Because it's a rare occasion that Lao walks around, you know.
Mm.
Carmina, don't fucking stare, you. See? Good. She doesn't stare. She sees shit.
She's too
She has
busy
here.
punching over her mug like, warmth.
She,
But yeah, you hear the stutter step, stutter step, stutter step as Lao moves back over to you. And then he just kind of slowly sits down he tries to very carefully sit down. And you can tell immediately he's not used to unless he's like flopping down on a soft surface, he's not used to having to be careful sitting down. He puts the mug down next to you, folds the cane across his lap, and he reaches underneath the blanket again, and he pulls out another blanket and wraps that around your shoulders. And you can clearly smell the charcoal. Well, not the charcoal, but you can smell that it's an old blanket. It's not like mothball old or dusty old. It's old with use. You can feel that as you if you were to reach up and rub your hands through it. And it smells different.
Carmina is immediately. If you want to escape from this contest dexterity, but Carmina is immediately wrapping Lao closer to her and closer to the fire.
I'm gonna roll perception first to see if he notices, and if not, I'll roll with disadvantage. That's a 20. I'm just gonna roll X save, which is a straight D20. It's an 8. I don't think he gets away.
Do you want me to contest that, or do we
That
leave
is
it at
up
that?
to you.
I don't want to because I want her to do it, and I have no shame.
Well, then she gets him. He notices too late as she reaches an arm sneakily around his shoulder and then just yanks Lao in. He just goes, "Oh, for fuck's sake! Did you have to? Why are you like this? Did you just maybe warn me before you try and drag me into places?"
Want you to warm you?
Yes, I want you to warn me, not warn. And he just reaches over and smacks you on the shoulder.
She's gonna bump her shoulder against his shoulder.
He's just gonna roll his eyes at that. He's just like, "Oh, for God's sake. Firstly, you invite me out to find a very rare endangered moss, which is admittedly highlight of today, I'll say. However, you failed to mention that it would start raining and hailing, and now we're both soaked, and my chair is still outside, and actually, I'm gonna roll a history.
Excuse me, don't blame me. Don't blame me. Blame climate change.
What the fuck is a climate change?
Well, you have a climate and suddenly changes.
I'm gonna hide one of these. Yeah, he puts his head in his hand. The other hand has now gone down to circle the mug of tea that's next to your leg. And if you didn't know him, it would look like he's just sighing in agony. You can tell from the shake of his shoulders that he's just fucking laughing.
Carmina is just right now is putting the mask right next to her cheek and kind of moving it from her cheek to her nose to her other cheek to her nose to her other cheek, like I have feel my pain.
Yes, well, that's what you get for lying down on something incredibly comfortable and then not getting up the moment you felt something wet fall on you.
Nature betrayed me.
Do you want to roll another perception or insight?
Yes.
Go
This
ahead.
is an insight.
Go for it.
And
16.
of course she gets more insight. It's the same. It's the same. It's the saying of it. Saying it aloud, I mean.
Yeah. Carmina, as you're rolling that mug over your face, you look over to Lao and you see him looking out and squinting outside in the rain and looking back into the fire. He doesn't have eyebrows, but his eyes are moved in such a way that they're squinted kind of in worry. You've seen this face only a few times, perhaps. More than you'd like, but well, not too often. And you realise, oh wait, hang on, Soul was out there, weren't they? And now looks
Oh,
awfully concerned.
oh, 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 fuck. And she tries to get up. And
Uh,
she says, oh, fuck. Right, Sol.
no,
And she
no,
tries.
sit down, sit the fuck back down. He's gonna try and pull you down.
What is a fuck? She's busy.
Ghost! She tries to get up, and he can't stop her. He just kind of like hangs a little bit off her shoulders, like he's got one hand on her shoulder, and then she gets up, and then he puts the other hand in the crook of her elbow, left the tea on the floor, and she starts to get up. He just starts to dangle over the floor. She starts to move, and he's just
Oh,
shouting, "No, no, leave him alone. Leave them alone. It's fine.
no,
He's
no,
fine."
that's Carmina reacting. She gets up, and the moment she feels like she has lifted Lao, she's kind of like, oh shit. She doesn't go down again, but she kind of like, uh, tilts. So she's still Lao is more in the ground, but she's still upright, which ends up kind of like an weird L shape. That's not a comfortable position.
No, he's gonna glare at her and just say, "Sit the fuck down, stupid. Sit down."
Lao and Sol. Mm,
What's
mm.
it going to do for you to go out there and get yourself frozen again? Soul has been out by themselves before, and yes, admittedly, I'm a little concerned, but Soul Soul is very good at surviving. They are incredibly good at surviving, and they'll come back in the morning, and if they're not back by the morning, we'll search for them then. Likelihood is they're having the time of their life with water falling from the sky and endless drink to sip from. They're probably rooted themselves somewhere dry or some such, honestly. And Lao kind of turns away from Carmina and looks back into the fire, which is probably crackling merrily now that the unseen servant has stopped it. A bit more full, a bit more warmth, uh, wafting from it. So,
It definitely fills the room with a happy, cozy feeling.
mm. And Lao kind of starts to slowly relax as he stares at the fire. Just the grip on the grip on Carmina he has starts to loosen a bit, and he just slowly puts his hands back in his lap. His
Car-
cane, which
Car-
kind of dropped on the floor next to him, he picks up in his left hand, and the mug he picks up with his right and moves onto his lap. And he looks at the fire and he
Car-
just, oh,
Carmilla eventually sits down and wraps the blanket around them a little bit tighter. So, yes,
yes.
tighter.
He's just gonna sit there and he's gonna look at his tea and he's gonna look back at the fire and then side eye Karimini out the corner of his eye, and Soul Soul is a very, I don't know if you've noticed, but Soul tends to do better in natural, wide open spaces. I bring them to the farm for that precise reason. They need that room to stretch and have a good run and get used to, well, reacquaint themselves with nature again.
Oh, I see. So you're using me as a babysitter.
He snorts. Babysitter. Babysitter. Oh, please, you couldn't keep up with them if you tried, honestly. Oh, no, I'm not using you as a babysitter. It's more like a, and he brings up, He brings up his cane and he taps it on the end of his beak as he squints his head in a mock consideration. It's more like a playground.
Amusement park with a pet zoo.
Let me just roll something for that. What is your mod? What is your mod? Because okay, it's a +3. Check.
There are no mods in the wild. Dun, 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 dun.
Lao squints his eyes and slowly nods. Carmina, you get the impression that he doesn't know what amusement park is, but he probably hasn't been to one, and also he probably doesn't know the specifics of how that all works.
Lao, come on, I am supposed to be the isolated hermit one. What are you even doing in the city?
Well, oh, that's actually an interesting question. You wanna roll an insight? Whew. Lao kind of shifts underneath the blanket. Yeah, Lao kind of shifts underneath the blanket and takes a sip of his mug, and he leans a little more into your side and does the fire. He says, "Let's just say that I have business in Inkwell that needs to be taken care of.
Business.
Yes, business. Um,
Business.
has Carmina drunk any of her tea yet?
No, the tea is right now. She's putting the tea against her chest. Like,
Okay.
she's literally trying to warm herself. She doesn't remember if she has ears.
Okay.
So yeah.
Because I need. Okay. Lao's probably. I'm gonna roll perception for Lao to see if he's noticed that she hasn't had a sip yet. That's wrong command. 19! Looks over at Carmina, who is still rubbing her face avidly against the mug, and he just sighs and then pokes her in her side and says, "Would you drink that already? It'll be warmer inside of you than it will be across your face."
You're trying to poison me?
He smirks, snorts, rolls his eyes. "If I were trying to poison you, you would know it, Carmina. Now, just drink it already, would you?"
she's like also like giggling a little bit, like are you trying to poison me? Are you trying to get shit for free? Is this about the boss? Are you trying to kill me so I cannot get between you and the boss?
No, I'm not trying to kill you. If I were trying to kill you, I wouldn't poison you. You'd know it was coming. I'll shut up and drink it, would you?
You will have hit me with the stick.
I mean, he lifts up his left hand threateningly, cane still in hand, and raises an eyebrow at you. He doesn't have.
Oh, boo, fine. Okay. So, what I'm drinking? Cicuta?
You're drinking, it's a cup of tea. There's something a little extra in there. Roll me a con save.
She hasn't drank just yet. She has just put it to her lips, and she's kind of like sniffing it.
Okay. You want to roll? You trying to see what's in it? Because if so, roll investigation.
Okay. A sniffy investigation. This will go so much easier if I was a direwolf. What's your investigation? You absolutely. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Why? Why?
Is it bad? Oh, it's just funny. Okay. You can tell there's something extra in here, and you kind of recognize it, sort of. You think it's alcohol. You can't quite tell. It could be something else. But
Ooh, Lao, we are getting fancy, eh? I don't know if I trust your choice of alcohol.
Lao just. Please, it's nothing strong. It's a homebrew special. It's something we usually use when when we're overnight in the forest, logging as it were, or those deep in the mines need something to just help warm them up or cheer them up a little bit. So just just have a sip. It's to warm you up. Stop being so bloody paranoid.
She puts the cup on her lap, grabs Lao's face, and goes like, "I was joking."
Well, then shut up and drink it already! And he's gonna reach
Why?
back. He's gonna put the stick down. He's gonna reach back with the other hand. And he's gonna like grab the side of her face and like pull it. You know how like you can pull someone's cheek in an anime? He's gonna kind of reach over and just like do that and pull Carmina's cheek out.
He answers in kind with her grandma powers. And
Cheek
she's,
pinching.
in the meantime, I am not good as noises as you, but in the meantime, she's going like, noise.
Brilliant.
She's kind of like doing it comes to a point it doesn't resemble an human noise. And now you are not sure if it's a bird or a chip chirp or what it is, but it's kind of like childish, you will say.
Lao is when it starts to get more childish, Lao's just gonna very slowly loosen his grip, but not let go, and just slowly relax until her cheek is back to normal. He's gonna just still push the mug towards her and just say, just drink it already. Why are you hesitating? Just drink it. I've already drank mine.
Fine,
If you
fine,
want, you can drink mine. And then he shoves his mug over and dangles it at you.
oh, fine, fine. I'm gonna do here what we call an hidalgo in my country. What is the country way that's equal? Never mind. And she kind of like swirls the cup a little bit and drinks it in one shot. Down the hatch.
Oh, roll me a con save. With disadvantage, please, because this is real kind alcohol. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember the times Carmenia had no con because she's my first character and I didn't know con meant HP, so I didn't.
I shake
Anyways.
your hand. Why do you think I reworked that? Ha ha! That one. You knock this back, and your head tilts back until we can't see your face, and Lao's just squinting, and then slowly your head tilts forward again, and red is just rushing up your cheeks, Carmina. Smoke puffing out of your cigarette is just like less consistent.
It looks like I will add to that actually.
Absolutely.
She drinks it. Everything that happens, red comes from her ears to her face. I will say it kind of like because of her design, she comes. There is just kind of like a red line on her cheeks and on the tip of her ears.
Mm.
But you can hear like the moment it hits, you can hear a and black smoke comes out of her ears and out of her cigar, like if it's like a train chimney. And she kind of goes like, bumps her chest, and then slaps Lao on the back and goes like, "Woo! You have more?"
I was just gonna tip his head back and just fucking laugh because holy shit, she's a lightweight. Man, people teased him for being a lightweight. I mean,
Okay,
shit.
the moment Lao is laughing, she's gonna hit him in the with the back of her hand. Like she first hits him in the back, and when he lost, then she hits him in the front of his chest, but with the back of her hand. Like, shut up, pretty boy.
He
You
kind of
want something strong? I will get you something strong. Wait here. She tries to get up, goes down again. Actually, can you ask your invisible your invisible fella to get me the green bottle over there?
now just nods his head, and as you whack him on the back and then the front, he just kind of rocks forwards and then back again. And his head just kind of bobs up and down a little bit from front to back, front to back.
So
And just I'm gonna roll a con check now because he's got to concentrate to get this servant to work. And he says it's a 13. It takes him a good minute before he shakes his head and he looks at Carmina and says, "What exactly did you want them to get?"
that green one, and there is like 5 that could be considered green.
5, okay, green ones, right? And he looks behind him. He tilts his head all the way back and looks at them upside down. He squints, and then he lolls his head over to a spot you don't know where he's looking exactly. He just says, "Right, if you just grab the green ones for us and bring them over, one of them should be the right one. But just bring them all, and we'll figure it out." The unseen
Yeah,
servant.
careful, don't pick the one that is poison, please.
Don't pick the poison one. And the unseen servant just goes along to where the green bottles are, and they're just gonna pick up all of the green bottles.
Yep. When I say not the poison one, I'm serious.
Nice.
Anyways,
Well, I
I will
mean,
say, can Lao roll me a perception
absolutely.
or a general perception or a history?
Let's do a history. That's a that one! He's slithered! He's gone! He rolled a 3 on his con save earlier because he put the same thing in his drink and he only did slightly better than Carmina did. He's fucking. His mind is fog at the moment.
Carpilla just says aloud, randomly, and mutters to herself. Bueno, xentes, temos aquí confirmación de que cando és galego e faz o teu personaxe galego, a xente pensa que és ti. Gracias, pero bueno, vamos tirando, vamos tirando. I'm using this as an excuse to speak in my native language. Hello, everybody. Welcome
Yes,
to
do
D&D.
so. Absolutely do so. It's brilliant. Fantastic. And I love to
You
hear
get,
it.
however, Lao gets, however, that is kind of like a mocking tone, and I give you this for free.
Lao's just gonna sort of dip a little from side to side, and just kind of glare at Carmina, and then he's just gonna like absent-mindedly slap shove her on the shoulder. It's got no force behind it. He just kind of thumps her on the shoulder with the mug. It does not hurt the mug. It's just a gentle conk. And he's just like, I don't know what you're saying, but I think you should probably stop because it sounds incredibly rude, and I don't want to deal with your rude talk. Considering I'm the one that dragged your stupid frozen ass
Peneke.
down a hill today.
Peneke. Bring me the bottles. Bring me the bottles so I must bring out my revenge. Something. I don't know how. I don't know how people that go with the revenge thing go.
Gosh.
Do you think I should have an evil laugh? I mean, I'm practically a witch of the woods. Maybe they will make people leave me alone.
I don't know about that. I mean, it's up to you, I suppose, but Al just kind of shrugs and stares a little dazedly into the fire as the unseen servant comes back with 5 green bottles and just kind of places them gently uh between their legs. Like
Okay, that's definitely poison.
which one's the poison?
That one is a poison. She's not pointing at anything. She's just kind of like slouching against Lao.
Fucking great. I'm gonna roll
Roll
something.
investigation.
Oh, I can do investigation. If that fails, I know what I'm doing.
You can roll investigation, or you can roll insight, or you can roll
That one,
history.
another
That
that one.
one.
He knows fuck all. So I know what he's gonna do now. I need to roll a spellcasting thing for this though, because if he gets another nat one on this, I'm gonna cry. So he kind of glares, and he's like, he squints, and he's just like, I told you to bring 5 green bottles, not 10. I don't know why you've brought 10. Now I can't tell which one is the poison. So I'm
Did
just
I
gonna
have
have
so
to.
many green bottles? Oh, that's not green. That's emerald.
Uh, Emerald is green. Emerald is a flavor of green. I know this because I tasted one once. It wasn't very tasty. My uncle Coop really
Wait,
likes the taste, but
wait. The color? You taste the color.
no, it's not. I mean, it's called the color. But it's like if the color were a rock, and then Lau just kind of puts his fingers together in a weird way and starts to wiggle them a little bit, and it's like he seems to be trying to form
Okay.
some kind of interlock finger fist kind of deal, but it's just not quite happening. Actually, I'm gonna roll a sleight of hand, see how well he does this. That's what I fucking thought. That's 3 nat ones in a row. This is brilliant.
Uh,
This is fucking brilliant. He just kind of
wait.
misses.
This is terrible.
It's amazing.
Oh my god.
This is
Oh
amazing. I love
my god.
this. He just continues on saying like it was if you put the color into a rock and then made the rock that color. It's my uncle Coop told me that they tasted very nice when I was very small, and so I thought I would try one. And then I did, and it tasted like a rock. So I spat it out, and then I took my training sword and I whacked my uncle Coop in the knees, and he was laughing at me. That's what I get for trusting. That's what I get for trusting my uncle, I suppose.
He sounds like an asshole. I love him already.
Oh, give me a second.
And now, and how do you call them? Advertisements? Announcements? It's weird. It's kind of weird, honestly. But yeah, intermedio. Hello, everybody. Buy shit from me. Give me your money. That's an announcement. What do I
Sorry,
have here for
I
you?
had someone come
No,
in.
shut up. I'm in the middle of the announcement. This says ingredients: water, malted barley, wheat, hops, yeast. This is beer. That's the announcement. Hello, everybody. Give me your money.
Where was I before this? Oh right, yeah, you
You,
called Uncle Coop. You called Uncle Coop a bastard.
an asshole, and then she said, "I love him already."
Lao's just gonna snort, he's just gonna roll his eyes, which kind of loll in his head a little bit as he turns to look at you. Just, yeah, I thought he might be the sort of person that you'd like. I think you two would get on very well. He's not a complete prick. There are worse people to know, but he's also, honestly, I didn't know tunes were tunes until I went to college, and then I met a few, and then I came to Aikville, I met even more. If I
Well, you
didn't
went to
know
college.
better, I would say that my uncle Cooper a tune in real kind skin, because he's just now waves a hand just absent-mindedly, airily in the air, like does not explain any
Honestly,
further.
honestly, I didn't see real kinds until I got kidnapped, and then I ran away, and now I live in a basically everything is kind of waves around us. Everything is really kind of like, look, I made that. Look, I made that. Look, I made that. Look, I was really kind as well. Yeah. I don't know where they get the rocks. Where did she get the rocks? Why is everything real kind? What, like, we just literally came here and settled. Why is everything real kind? What is the style? Everything real kind? Like, do you know how hard it was for me to actually convince her to make Windows the pattern Windows with products from around here? Like, I was like, just get you're fucking up the glass blowing thing. Just buy it from someone. And she was like, no, I need to make it myself because there is something about being proud about your hard work. And I was like, yes, but I don't want to sleep with in the winter. It was in the winter. We were still making we were living in a hut. I didn't want to sleep in a hut. I was tired of living in a hut. I wanted a house. You went to college?
I will say Lao didn't actually mention he went to college, but I rolled a quick
I totally hear Lao saying, I didn't know something when I went to college.
Oh, sorry, give me a second.
Gosh, what do I read now? Okay, this one says, oh my god, if I read this, it will be oh, here, okay. 50 round cotton wool pads, 100% pure cotton, super soft, absorbent and gentle. These non-freezing cotton wool pads are suitable for all your beauty needs. This product is manufactured using natural fibers, so might contain small pieces of cotton seed, husk, or stalk. Huh. It was made in Turkey. Interesting. Okay. So, let me see what I have here. Nope. Oh, this.
Hello. Sorry again. I had more people come
The
in.
butternut palm raises gracefully to over 30 feet, tall on a slim dark green trunk, sports glossy dark leaves, and produces lovely white flowers that perfume. Oh, sorry, you're back.
I am back. I don't know what you were reading, but it sounds very nice.
Hi.
Hello. I hope you will
You
enjoy
got.
Sorte's readings.
I read what something about cotton wool pads because I'm painting my nails and this is what I have near.
Nice.
Anyways,
Very good. Anyway,
college. Did you went to college, Lao? That's your tragic backstory, trying to pay student debts.
Lao just kind of ignores that question. I rolled a quick con check to see how well he would be able to focus on what you were saying, and he rolled a 15. So he does, in fact, pick up and notice the fact that you said you were kidnapped. And he just, like, looks at you, just like, what do you mean you're kidnapped? What? You were abducted? What? You were abducted? Who abducted you? Are they still out there? Do I need to? And he seems to be like slowly trying to get up.
Lao. And she grabs him and pulls. Lao, we are not that drunk. Get the bottle and then you can start getting fighty, okay? At least wait until the second drink. Fake it until you make it. We can get you less. we can make a bird out of you. Come on.
I was just gonna snore, roll his eyes like, I don't know, Carmina. I don't think if even my own village and tribe couldn't make a proper orc or dwarf out of me, I don't think it's appreciated, but I don't think you are going to be able to do that either.
Sorry, a proper what? Made a proper what of him? What?
Is this in character or not?
No, this is me.
Oh, orc or dwarf. Type it out.
he said an orc or a dwarf?
Yes.
A dwarf.
No,
Okay,
dwarf. It is
a
dwarf.
dwarf. That's the sub-race of dwarf. It's kind of like, surfer dwarves. Okay.
Surfer dwarfs. Considering what my dwarven lore is, I'm just kind of head in hands at that. Like,
Get yourself a dwarf.
Wanna go
Anyways.
smurfing out of USA. Damn it.
And she's kind of like making a game out of this. She's pushing the bottles towards Lao, kind of like nudging him to choose one. Hey, see what's the one that will kill us? Come on, mate, come on. And she's like, well, I mean, dwarves are hairy, not feathery, and I'm still yet to see an orc fly.
Oh, most
Well,
orcs.
actually, that time when there was that magic explosion at that tower, that fella covered some distance.
Val's just gonna nod absent-mindedly at that. He's no longer paying attention to you. He is looking at these bottles very intently. And have you pushed all 5 bottles towards him?
Yep.
Cool. I'm gonna roll something because what's your spell cast for this? +6. Cool. He casts detect poison and disease. So with this,
Oof. Good.
sorry, I'm so sorry. Give me just a moment.
Anyways, dale a tu cuerpo alegría, Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para darle alegría, cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría, Macarena. Hey, Macarena. Ah. So, how is everybody? How are we doing?
Okay.
I hope you are having a great week. Oh, hi,
Sorry.
dude. I was just having a conversation after singing to our precious listeners.
Wonderful.
The Macarena.
Wonderful.
I love every single of you. Drinks!
Drinks. Gosh, there's 3 interruptions. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry, I'm having a time of my life.
So
Dead.
Okay, so Lao cast detect poison and disease, which, for the sake of this, I'm gonna say, well, one of these bottles is poison, and it's gonna light up with like a smoky rings circling around the bottle, and he's just gonna point to that bottle and say, "That's the poison. That's poison." Just
Actually, Lao, for a second, you think you're busy or blurry because 4 of the 5 light up.
Fucking god. And he just looks down at all these, and he looks up at he looks up at Carmina and he says, "There are 2 options as to why this has happened. First option, 4 of these bottles are poison and 1 of them is alcohol. Second option, all of these are alcohol. But they're so fucking rancid they register as poison, which has happened before, but it was a very awful bottle of wine, and I promised I would never touch it again."
Actually, none of these are poison. I promise. I think you might be. Do you think maybe you casted it wrong? Maybe you casted detect put wine and
No, I can't.
and I'm gonna roll deception.
Gosh, I'm gonna roll contesting insight. Could you roll that with disadvantage because you're drunk? And I will also roll
But
insight
you
with
rolled that,
disadvantage.
but you are also drunk, so
Yeah,
I'm
oh no,
gonna.
I'm rolling with disadvantage. I'm not rolling with advantage here.
Sorry, what?
I said I'm
Listen,
also rolling with disadvantage because I am also drunk. So that's an 11.
Why are we rolling at a disadvantage if both are we both at disadvantage? I mean, if we are both drunk, like, wouldn't it be like She fails, but he doesn't,
Okay, that's fair. If that's the case, I'm gonna go with my 11
with
because it's funnier if he just believes her. He's just gonna nod very slowly. I mean, he doesn't usually cast his spells wrong, but maybe he did just this once. I mean, one of the orcs up on the mountain did tell him, don't drink and cast. It's a bad idea. They were like a wizard. There's a wizard dwarf and orc people up in the mountains, and they're just like, Lao, if you do one thing, don't drink and cast. It is a bad idea, and it will do awful things to you. And Lao took that to heart, and this is probably not the first time he's done that, but he doesn't do it very often. Um, so maybe his magic's just being weird, and he just kind of shrugs like, okay, fine, they're not poison. Just which one is the actual poison one then?
Carmilla is just laughing. Like she's gonna pinch Lao's cheek like, you're adorable.
He's just gonna kind of whinge like,
Lao, we are not that drunk. Come on, okay, it's this one. And she reaches for, and she stops. Which one was the one that was not illuminated? Sorry, what? This one, right? And she goes for the one that Lao had pointed. Yeah. She kind of takes the others and just puts them on her hammer space. Like, yeah, for the time being, maybe getting my weird hobbies out of the way. I'm drunk, not stupid.
Lao just nods.
Which is a fact. There is a small bottle, indeed greenish. A little bit is almost like is sea glass made bottle again. You can see the faint shadow of a little bit of sweetly liquid on it. And as she reaches it up and puts it closer to her face, so it's closer to yours too, she looks at the label and says, I never knew what it says on this one. I think it's kind of like an herb liquor. Okay, if this doesn't kill you, let me know, okay?
I mean,
she kind of like bites the cork of it and goes like with a boom, nice. Opens it and just spits the cork. And I'm gonna say, just for the gag, it lands in the fire, and she's
yes. I just imagine it lands in fire and then it pops into a load of little smaller corks like popcorn, like.
She's just looking at that and says, "Well, one for you too, my friend. Where's your mug?"
Lao's just like, I don't need the mug, and he's gonna. You wanna roll contesting strength because he's gonna just try and reach out for the bottle and yank it from you.
Also, hashtag, I mean, bracket, this is me in person. Sorry if Carmina doesn't sound so drunk. I will say that she absolutely got a hit there, but she's not drunk out of one. Like,
no, you're
I was very drunk though. Is that okay? Is that okay? Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. It's absolutely fine, dude. You do what would be best in character for her. Right, let's roll. It's an 11.
I'm gonna contest that strength because you are an ass.
Yes, please. That's 18. Yeah, you easily managed to yank that out of Lao's grasp. And he just kind of.
I will say that Lao's hand is still on that. Carmina doesn't yank it, but there is a sudden stillness as she looks at Lao and says, "We are drinking from the mug."
Lao just kind of tries to shoot her a glare, but very much fails because his eyes just keep slowly drifting away from her face, and he shakes and tries to glare at her again, and he just leans
Don't
back.
be nasty. Don't be nasty.
His eyes kind of squint, and you just hear a as he blows his
Oh,
tongue at you.
oh, you didn't. And she's gonna actually grab his beak and do like what you do to dogs, like just
He's gonna
shake it.
shake the beak.
No,
He's gonna shake the
she's
beak.
gra- she's grabbing his beak
He's
and
gonna.
doing this when a dog has done something bad and you're looking at them and go like no, no. She's doing that like
Oh my
she's
god.
she's shaking it a little bit.
Okay. Al's gonna reach back, like blindly grasping for his walking cane. And he's just gonna like whack it on your arm. Um, and you can roll a quick perception if you want.
All right, quick perception for the 11. 11.
An 11. Okay. It takes you a little bit to notice, but you do eventually notice that the whacks go from like a soft, playful thing. They're starting to get a lot harder as the longer you hold on to his beak, he just starts to whack it harder against your arm.
And she's holding it like she's holding she's holding, and I'm gonna do a constitution maybe for see. Let me see what's my constitution modifier. I don't know if this will be okay, but just to see if she can quote and for the pain. She quickly just lets go and kind of like rubs, kind of like with her the bottle still grabbed, kind of like rubs her arm, and it goes, "Oh, go away,
Just
petardo,
shakes his head
teneque, petardo."
and rubs it where his beak is, and he's just like, "Don't just grab me like that. Don't do that. Don't just grab people like that." And he just puts his cane back across his lap.
Well,
Um,
well, and she actually takes a swing of the thing.
mm,
After she takes a swing, and I'm gonna roll. Yeah, fucking not one. Yeah, that actually fits because right after he's saying this, she takes a swing, and after he says this, she says, "But you're not people, you're family."
cool, cool. I'm gonna roll something here. Just kind of blinks, kind of blearily eyed. Um,
If I don't treat, if I don't treat you a little bit like like shit, who I'm gonna do that with? Like,
Lao just
no. And she's holding the bottle back to Lao.
Lao's gonna slowly, absent-mindedly take the bottle from Carmina's hand, and he's not gonna sip from it. He's just gonna kind of hold it by the neck up to the firelight, and he seemingly is just watching as the liquid swishes around, and he turns it by the neck in the fire, watching the light dance through the bottle. And he's just furrowing his head, and then he turns back towards Carmina, and he cocks his head to the side and says, What do you mean that we're family?"
She's not answering now.
I'm rolling insight.
She's poking.
Poking. That's a dirty 20 on insight.
It is quite a shame because she knows you don't feel the same.
I was just gonna turn away from that. And he's not gonna say anything. He's just gonna look down again at the liquid in the bottle, swish it around, swish it around, swish it around before he
You see it's dwarven.
dwarven. Okay,
There is, you see the label and it's dwarven. It's in dwarven.
okay.
Dwarfish. Dwarvish.
He,
Yeah, it's hard for me. These words don't exist in normal vocabulary, so I'm suffering. Dwarvish, dwarven.
yeah, that's fair. Is it like real kind or is it too
Definitely
deep?
real, definitely real kind.
Okay. He's gonna cock his head to the side, and he's not gonna swig this down. He's just gonna lift it gently to his beak and take a quick sip. He's just gonna savor it for a second. All this. Another three. That's potent. Whatever that was, it's potent because he tugs it down quickly and he just coughs as it goes down. He just hands it back to Carmina. He doesn't look at her.
Carmina laughs at that and slaps his back again, like revenge at quiet.
Lao's just gonna rock forward with that slap and then slowly lean himself back, um, gripping the cane in his lap and staring again. Still staring. He's been staring at the fire pretty much this whole time.
She kind of leans against Lao and just like, this is nice.
I'm gonna roll this. Okay. What's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 14.
Okay. Carmina, you do notice that as you lean into Lao, you can feel that his body, it was a little tense, but it seems to just kind of slowly loosen, and he does lean back into you, and you feel his head kind of pop onto your shoulder as he stares back into the fire, and he slowly nods against your shoulder and says, "Yes, this is rather nice. I haven't sat near a fire with someone for quite a while, actually. It's been a very long time since I've sat with someone near a fire.
I will have a fire, but not much as someone.
Don't need much. We just need a fire, a good drink, and, well, good company, I suppose."
Yeah. Has been pretty empty since Luca and Augustus just decide to give us time to, you know. Anyways, they are not here now, so I don't do these things as much as I would like to.
Do you want me to roll an insight on that, or?
Yeah, of course. Just go hang with the insights, cause
It's 24?
fucking 24. Yeah, no, listen, she's sad. She's she's really sad, and with a 24th for the first time now, you understand that some of the anger and the yelling and the that is Carmina is herself forcing to have a reaction towards the world, because otherwise he would just not act. It's kind of like a front. With a 24, you realize it's more herself trying to behave the way she thinks she used to than the thing it is. What I'm trying to say with all of this is now comes to, with a 24, now comes to the realization Carmina is grieving still, and it might also be something that she's hiding. There has been a great loss.
Okay.
And she feels alone.
Right. Lao is thinking very deeply, as well as his cloudy drunk mind can moment. You just
I cannot believe these two are so lightheaded. I'm gonna use no, sorry, like uh, lightweight.
yes.
That's the word you use. I cannot believe they are so fucking weak.
I
So
mean,
yeah.
Lao is canonically lightweight, at least when it comes to Toon drink. I didn't expect it to be this lightweight with like real kind drink, considering he's used to this stuff. But okay, I guess it wanted it that way. Um, so um, Lao's gonna just kind of sit up slowly away from your shoulder, Carmina. I imagine the blanket is still wrapped around them. Um,
Yeah.
he's gonna grip one side of that blanket and pull it further towards himself and turn towards Carmina away from the fire. And he's gonna continue on saying, I think that we should do two things. One, you
Drink
should
water.
three things. One, we should
Eat something.
still three things. One, we get water. Two, we eat something. And then three, you, and he stabs a finger in her chest, you tell me about your Luca and Lou something. You tell me about them, and we spend the night here, and then in the morning we can deal with everything else.
No, you're jabbing my teeth.
Your what?
But what? Hey. She just slaps his hand, but there is no stray on that.
Laos just like look down at where he poked, and he just look up, and then he's gonna lift his hand higher and just. I'm gonna roll a sleight of hand for this. Can you hit this? 12. He tries to like poke you in the cheek, but he kind of pokes you in the temple instead, like just enough that the skin near your eye just kind of crinkles up, like near the corner.
My eye! My eye!
Oh, shut
You
up!
hit me in
Stop whining! Stop whining! Just we need to
my
get some
leg!
water and food, and then you can tell me about these people that you keep talking about. Because
Okay, I don't want to get up. Can you tell your as you say to get something from the kitchen and
he's
try
just.
to roll concentration
I
at
just need to check
disadvantage.
something. I need to check. Could you, Harley, please? Shush. Sorry, that's not
Hi
you. I'm talking
Harley!
to my dog. He's been
Hi
whinging at me
Harley!
this whole
I love
time.
you, Harley!
He doesn't care. Oh, it's not even concentration. Okay, that's cool. So I feel like he has to
But
cast this again because this has probably been chatting and drinking for over an hour. So he just kind of rolls his eyes and clicks his fingers again. Um, and the unseen servant comes back into effect, and he just says, "Could you?" And he lifts his mugs up, the two mugs up, kind of wobbly. Take these, put some water in them, and then if you've got any food in the pantry, just bring out everything. And the unseen servant so goes to the kitchen. Oh wait, hey, concentration with disadvantage, didn't you say? It's an 11 again. Uh, so
nice.
it does just about do what Lao says, but I think it probably like drops some food on the floor before putting it all back onto like a plate. Um, and so there's
Everybody, the unseen servant is about to go on a strike.
the unseen servant is getting real fed up with this nonsense, but they probably had to do worse. Let's be fair. Um, knowing Lao at least. But yeah, they bring over like two mugs of water, and they have rinsed it out beforehand, before plopping them down. And then they bring over like a tray of stuff in the pantry. Hey, Sorte, um, is the thing in that pantry? Would you say was
Yes.
yes. All right. So
In fact, I'm gonna roll perception for the food on the floor. One
go
second.
for it.
See if she realizes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the moment she sees the floor hit the ground, she does perceive. She hears it, she senses it, she's lunging for it, and she's just yelling, "Marshmallows!"
Lao just slowly blinks and cocks his head to the side and says, "What? What did you just say?"
And she brings up the only plastic package in the whole house. Now, um, Lao must know that this is extremely strange to find here, because Carmina does not only not have electricity nor any kind of modern, how do you call it, appliances. She doesn't use plastic either. Um, she might use the train, that kind of thing to move around, but she uses mostly lips like outside of the energetic grid kind of thing. Like she shows even a little bit of disdain, not for the people who uses it, but for some certain modern commodities. She takes pride on not having to use them.
I
But
think
this is a bag of of a brand, I will say, marshmallows, bought in probably a supermarket in the city,
hmm,
and Carmella's just throwing herself at them and trying to rip the bag open with her teeth. She's going at it like, listen, she's not well shaped, but it makes no difference. Like she right now looks like a rabbit dog.
he's just she's probably not paying attention, but for those listening, Lau does not know what the fuck a marshmallow is. He doesn't go to the supermarket for food. He grows his own food in his greenhouse. He eats mostly like veggies and potatoes and nuts and like shit like that. He doesn't go to the supermarket to eat food.
It,
So he has no
it,
idea what the hell these things are or why they're sending Carmina into a frenzy. But he is going to roll a medicine check to make sure that she isn't suddenly got some sort of weird alcoholic rabies.
yes, she has. It's called the munchies.
I was about to fucking say, she got the munchies. She's got that raging munchies. So 6. He thinks she's probably got some sort of rabid alcoholic munchies. Or at least she's not foaming at the mouth, but man, she's got like
she's
a
definitely
strange fear
she's
look in her eye.
she definitely has the bag and is going like trying to open it.
Um, he's gonna pick up his stick again, and I'm gonna roll to hit. This is the coolest stuff. He's gonna try and fucking bonk you on the head with this because he's just like, no, stop it, put that down, put it down, put it down, and I don't remember if it's a +2 or a +4 for this. I think it's just a +2. That's a 4. He fucking misses. He basically he's banging the stick just to the right of Carmina, and it doesn't stop her at all. She's still tearing into the bag. I don't know if she even notices as he just bangs the stick on the floor.
I'm gonna roll a strength for this. She's still fighting with it. In fact, I will say that she tries to pull like a teeth on the bag, pulls away, and it kind of like is for it's a tune. For some reason, bag snaps into her face, and it's like if it was made of rubber.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
If she rips it with her teeth, but she overdoes it, and the whole bag splits and just jumps into the fire. All the marshmallows are just in the fire now.
She is gonna reach for Lao's cane and Sorry,
Oh,
grab it.
I've got to make a dex save.
No, actually not, because she's gonna put it. No, no, no. She's gonna put it on the fire. No, no. She wouldn't do that to Lao's cane. No. She's gonna take her cane from her hammer space and try to save them. Yeah, she get them. What do I roll? A dexterity. A sleight of hand.
You can roll what you want. If you're proficient with it, roll your proficiency modifier as well. Like roll to attack kind of thing. Lao's gonna kind of see Carmina trying to play essentially Hook the Duck, but with marshmallows. He doesn't know what they are, but it kind of looks like fun. So he's just gonna roll to try and get some too. Dirty 20!
She only gets a few. 10.
Lao gets the rest of them with that dirty 20. There might be like maybe one or two left in there, but they can't fucking see them. So Lao just kind of
Yeah,
pop,
they
pop,
they
pop, 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 pop.
they are absolutely caramelized to the point of charcoal.
Ooh. Lao's looking at these and there's a look on his face like on one hand he's look delicious because that is charred. That is charred and I like that. Counterpoint. He kind of lifts them up his beak and he opens his mouth and kind of breathes in and then he just pulls it away quickly because oh that's sugar. Oh, that's a lot of sugar. Oh, he doesn't know if he's gonna like this. He's just staring at his walking cane.
Lao, roll me a dexterity to avoid Carmina eating it from your hand.
That's a
Nat
nat
20, believe it.
20! That's a nat 20!
This is an epic fight with an 18 and a 22. It's an epic fight. Lao sees it, quickly tries to move his hand away, but Carmina is fucking rabid, and she's just like, and it's snatched from your hand with ease that scares you. How many times has Carmina done this shit? And she's just like on it,
I
like
just
she's munching it. Like, and this kind of like, you can see her cheeks, like she's just holding her cheeks on her face, like going like, "Oh, this is amazing."
oh my gosh. Is she just holding the K like a shish kebab and just doing that? You know the thing in cartoons where they like
No, no, I'm sorry.
against sweet corn.
I am very sorry. No, Carmina just went like she ate it, right? As Lao was holding it near his face, Carmina just went like, "No." And she's just enjoying it, like she's savoring it. You're like, this is amazing. With chubby cheeks smash, both hands smashing
Oh
her
my
cheeks,
gosh.
like, oh, she seems to be in. Yeah, she's enjoying this
She's
a lot.
enraptured. She is in rapture. She is enjoying this. I have to say, did you take all of the marshmallows off of his cane? With a nat
No,
20, if she wanted, she can.
she just ate whichever he was like examining.
Oh, okay. Well, there's
Caring
probably a
is
few left.
caring.
Okay. Lao's just gonna kind of lean back away from his cane from where Carmina just bit off the marshmallows on it. And he's just gonna kind of look at her. Um, actually, I'm gonna roll a quick perception to see if he notices something. 13. It probably takes him a while because he's distracted by Carmina, and he's just gonna say, I don't know what exactly these things are, but they smell terribly sugary, and I don't think they're quite my thing, and you seem to be a little too lally over them, and I don't think you should have too many if they're going
He
to
did.
cause you this much trouble.
And she's gonna grab Lao through grab the back of the neck of Lao. She's just gonna put a hand there and like, you gotta try them. It's all sugar. You gotta try them. And it's listen. Whomever says that you cannot, no, this is the perfect ones. Like lightly golden, they are weak.
Ooh. Does Carmina want to roll me a perception? You don't have to, if you don't think she would.
12.
12. Okay, let me just roll to contest that, see how this works out.
She has anxiety. She's a machine gun of perceptions.
No, she doesn't
Look at-
notice. Okay. You see his shoulders kind of roll a bit, but he rolls his eyes and then looks, focusing at the end of his cane, and you hear him say, "Shit!" and he just kind of waves his cane rapidly in the air, because the end of his cane's on fire. Because his cane isn't fireproof, and he just stuck it in the fire multiple times after having cast Destroy Water.
Oh,
There's no
oh, oh, oh,
slickness on this.
oh, no. She's gonna cast. She's gonna cast Create Water on the end of Klaus' cane.
Okay, so any marshmallows at the end of that cane are gonna be soggy now. Charred and
On the
soggy.
fire, on the fire, on the fire. She
Yeah,
cast
but
it only on
there's
the fire.
marshmallows
Sorry.
all along the
Yeah.
length of the cane. Like, all along the length of
Okay,
it.
well, fine. You know what? Lao needs the cane. Marshmallows can go to hell.
So now we just have another slightly wet cane, and he's just looking at these. He looks over at Carmina and he says, "Thank you for the help, but now I've got a soggy cane and potentially soggy. What did you say these were?"
But oh, marshmallows.
Marshmallows.
Mm,
Are they grown
it's
in a
like a
marsh?
it's like a piece of heaven in your mouth. It's like if you could go there and bite on a cloud, but the cloud was not just water. It's like the cloud actually tastes like it looks like.
Laos is gonna furrow his brow and look to the end of the stick where the soggy marshmallows are, and he just furrows his brow and says, "Well, I don't know what doom clouds taste like, but I assume if they're anything like, they're probably nothing like real kind clouds. Actually, never mind."
Why there is two clouds and real clouds? You will think like clouds are clouds.
You would think that, but no. Apparently, Toonkind clouds react differently because sometimes they. Have you ever looked up at a Toonkind cloud and they either shape themselves into like I don't know, like a book or a cat or some sort of
A
shape
middle
just because
finger,
someone's
a
looking at
middle
it?
finger. They do that a lot when I curse the heavens for when it because it's you know freezing when it doesn't have to freeze, and then suddenly I have no orange for the rest of the year.
Mm,
Yeah, they kind of flip me off a lot. Yes.
and Lel nods, and as he's doing so, he's just gonna absent-mindedly reach lean his cane up towards his mouth, and he's just gonna eat one of the soggy marshmallows at the end. And this is gonna be a
You
console.
absolute monster! You went for the wet one. What is wrong with you?
You said to go for it, and it tastes like clouds, and clouds are typically wet, so
That's
12.
absolutely backwards.
It's a 12, so he can eat it, and you can see him eating it, and you can see his eyes squint, and he swallows it, and he nods his head consideringly, and he says, "That wasn't awful, but it wasn't.
No.
Uh, it's incredibly sugary." And he kind of looks
It's
up.
sugar.
I'm not fond of sugar, Carmina, and you know that. It's not exactly my thing. Um, I will say he's kind of
Yes.
looking at the dry ones consideringly. Just he seems to think maybe the dry
Eat
ones
it.
taste better.
Eat it. Eat it. Do it. Do it.
Roll
Do it. Do
persuasion.
it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Persuasion. Let me see.
Yeah.
Carmilla, do you have any persuasion? She has. Oof.
Roll with advantage, please. This server is
God!
cursed. This server is absolutely cursed. I hate this. You know what? I'm gonna see if I roll a nat 1 on a whiz save. Because if I do, no. Gosh, you know what?
She's gonna grab his face again and say, "You are 11, trying to pass as a bird."
And he's gonna blink quickly a couple times, and then his beak's gonna turn up in a vicious grin. You're gonna see his when he talks, his beak is usually like just a smooth curve, but as his grin widens, you see his teeth have actually. Wait, he didn't have teeth. Why is his teeth? Wait, why is his beef? Why is the inside of his beak jagged now? That's weird. He's gonna just lean down and he is gonna bite one of the charred marshmallows. With a big old smirk looking at you. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Picks it up.
Carmen is absolutely laughing at him right now.
He gives it a couple of chews and then he just stops. And then he slowly holds out the cane towards Carmina to take.
She does take the marshmallows out of his cane, and in fact, she's kind of like. She holds the chewy cane, kind of like asking for permission.
No, he's handing the whole cane over. He's holding it out
Oh,
with both
she's.
hands towards her.
Okay, then Lao can see that she's taking the marshmallows, putting them aside on her knee, and then she's taking like, she has kind of like a black apron, and she's trying to kind of like, as she eats the marshmallow, she's trying to kind of like wipe the chewiness out of his cane. But
Just
she's
trying to get the
absolutely,
sticky remains
she's
off. Oh,
she's absolutely laughing at Lao, like, where did you where did you came from?
he's just gonna
Who
slowly.
made you? Who made you? You are a lemon of a toon.
He's gonna slowly turn away from her, and then he's gonna lean on both of his hands towards the fire. I'm gonna roll quick strength actually. Can you hold yourself up? No. So he goes to lean forward and his arms wobble for a second before he just slowly thumps onto the floor in front of the fire. And then you hear him inhale, and with a he just spits the marshmallow out of his mouth into the fire. And he reaches blindly back for the glass of water or the mug of water that was brought to them by the unseen servant.
Okay.
And he just
Carmina is gonna she gets a 10. She's getting out of her hyperspace a lemon and she's handing it to Lao.
11.
A
Oh
lemon.
gosh, he reaches blindly back for his mug, and then he feels something that's not a mug in his hand. He kind of glances back, sees it's a lemon, and Carmina, you don't know what you looked like when you were going for the marshmallows. You think, oh, is this what Lao saw? As Lao's eyes light up, and his outline goes from kind of like wriggly and thick and black, to a much lighter, slightly smokier, like puffs of strange black dust comes off of him a little bit as he quickly takes the leaven and just jump the whole thing in his mouth, and you can see that he is taking his time and savoring it, and he's just his eyes have drooped closed, and he's on his front, um, his arms are crossed, and he's resting his beak and face just on his arms. His eyes are shut, and he's just he's just making very happy little noises as he's chewing on his lemon whole.
Carmina is just kind of like pushing him a little bit with her shoulder. But more than pushing, ends up like looking like she's leaning on him again, and she's just like, "It's okay. We love you even when you are a citrus. It's fine."
Lao's just Lao at this point doesn't seem to be paying any attention. But Romania, you will hear just kind of muttered out the side of his mouth. You just hear, "Tell me, tell me, tell me about them."
Oh no, there is not much to tell about. Just ran away from home. They kinda kidnapped me, to be honest, but it was I say, yeah, sure. Then Mama and Papa never brought me back. But, well, I guess that's going nowhere now. So yeah, we just went around, had a few adventures. Augustus was doing his thing. Luca was doing her thing. And then we came in here, and I don't know, I had a good feeling, and they trust me, and we were kind of looking for, like, the idea was never to be adventurers, mercenaries, and honestly, second that, I was mostly there to calm the beaters. Like, Augustus sucks at dealing with animals, so yeah, he took care of the plants, I took care of the animals, Luca took care of the farm, the structures. She was good with the stone. Everything here is, she made everything here. Everything. Luca decorated it a little bit. Then, sorry, I mean, Luca did everything. Augustus decorated it, and then Luca and I kind of like destroyed all of Augustus' artistic vision, because if not, this will be all golden probably. And 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 silk. Oh god, that man loved his silk. Yeah. I never knew why he liked the place, but he did, and he make it pretty, and he took care of the gardens and stuff. Um, so yeah, that was it. We were a good team, but they had more experience than me, and there is we didn't realize how differently tunes age, I guess. So I don't think they could be apart from each other, you know, because it was very quick. Once Augustus decided to go for his last adventure, I guess Luca didn't trust him to not get lost on the way up there or down there. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they are still to this day kind of deciding where they sent him, up or down. Anyways, yeah, that happened, and then I fucked up, and everything went to shit, and it's all my fault. But we still carry on.
Carmina, I won't make you roll perception because I just rolled 2 13s in a row for this. I rolled a con save and I rolled a stealth. Um, whilst you were having this conversation, Lao has been slowly but steadily kind of shifting his way over to you, until he was back, back against like your legs. Is Carmina sitting like cross-legged or are her legs like stretched out?
Cross-legged, I would say.
Cross-legged. Okay. Well, you definitely see him slowly moving over towards you as you're talking. It takes a little while. Actually, you might not notice until you feel something against your leg. And you look down, and Lao's just kind of. Both of his arms are leaning against your leg, and his head is leaning on his arm. His eyes are shut. And he kind of blindly is reaching. blindly. He is blindly reaching around his back to grab at the blanket that's still over your shoulders and bring it a little more down towards him. And as you keep talking, you can tell that he is very steadily falling asleep.
Carmina, it doesn't need the blanket anymore, and slowly and gently puts it over Lao. There is a hand on his head that is kind of like, I don't know how you guys say this, petting? Can you pet a
Yes.
person? Or is that for pets?
You can pet a
Anyways.
person.
Yeah, well, there is kind of like a caress.
Like a little soft pat, soft touch to the head, yes. And
Yeah.
as you do that, you hear a little noise come from
Oh
him.
my god. Oh my god. Oh, wow.
And he grips the blanket a bit tighter and pulls it around himself, and he just seems to curl up a little. And if you want, you can roll me a perception. 13.
13.
Okay. You hear some kind of noise, but you can't pinpoint where it's coming from. It might just be the alcohol that's making you hear strange things, but there was a noise. It might be the cracking of the fire. You don't know. But maybe you shrug it off, maybe you pursue it. I don't know what you would do when you hear just a weird, strange noise, but you don't know where it's coming from.
Maybe it's herself because at this point she's looking at the fire, lost in thought. The same Lao chirps. She is also a little bit of a bird, so it's a little bit harder for her to use. She keeps it down, but there is also a noise there. Anyways, Carmina, as much as I say chicken, her father was not a chicken. So it's more of like a horrible cow, but not like a cow loud, obviously. It's just like a quiet one, a thinking one.
Well,
Not all she's remembering now. Probably most of it is not good, but it's easy to revisit some memories when you have good company.
I mean, if your good company is passed out in front of your hearth, kind of on your lap, I don't know. Did you say she got up? Did she get up or is she
She
still
did,
laying down?
she's not getting up. This is a cat effect. She's trapped here until Lao wakes up.
Gosh. I mean, unless there was anything else you wanted to do, Sorotei, we could just leave it there.
As the camera leaves this 12 FPS and the image fades to black, because that's how it works in the world of Toonkind, we can see that there is a little bit of a black streak from Carmina's side to her cheek. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this. This was a delight. Good night. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Hug your friends.
Love your
Tell
friends,
them you
tell
love
them they're
them.
loved, and love yourself too.
We
And
love you.
we love
Good
you very
night.
much. And goodbye.
Bye bye.